Two sides with new coaches and new hopes for the future look to continue to lay foundations for 2023. From Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford, Connecticut, it's Hartford Athletic and Charleston Battery. It's USL Championship Soccer on ESPN Plus, presented by Stanley Black & Decker. With Bruce Silverman, I'm Donnie Barnes. Both these sides hoping to bounce back from tough results last week. For Hartford, they had gone unbeaten in 5. Then last week, a 3-0 setback against Loudoun. They want to continue to impress and resume their momentum under new coach Tab Ramos.
Absolutely. Everybody needs to impress Tab. Everybody's playing for a contract right now. Everybody wants to finish the season strong, finish on a high note. You mentioned a moment ago, 5 straight unbeaten. Now you have that 3-0 loss. You want to score goals early and often, and you're playing at home, so you've got that advantage.
It's been a tough season for Charleston under first-year head coach Connor Casey, but they've been better for a couple months span, but then 2 heavy defeats in their last 2. 3-0 to Rio Grande Valley, 5-0 to Memphis 901 before that. They want to solidify things here tonight and get back on track.
Another team that's playing for contracts and another team that has to find a way to get to the back of the net. 2 games giving up 8 goals, not scoring any of your own. They got to get forward. They got to be vertical. They got to need to take as many chances as they can, fire away, and hope for good.
Let's see where these sides stand in the Eastern Conference standings coming into this one here tonight. Those standings presented, as always, by Jim Beam and Ornitos. And you'll see Hartford in 10th there on 33 points. Charleston down to 12th now on 24. You see that goal differential for Charleston, unfortunately. It's been a tough year for them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We'll talk about that more as we go later into this game here tonight. How about the other games around USL Championship tonight, especially the ones that pertain to that playoff race and playoff seeding, home field advantage, all of that very much on the line as we head down the stretch in this championship regular season. The Miami FC at home to Memphis 901. Memphis 901 up there at the top of the table, battling for that top spot in a first-round bye. Oakland still battling for a playoff spot out west. Monterey Bay trying to get in. Rio Grande Valley, a surprising second-half run that they've been on. It's going to be really exciting to watch this play out, not just tonight, but over the next couple of weeks. Well, tonight here in Hartford, the 4th annual Match for a Cause presented by Stanley Black & Decker. Special kits being auctioned off for Grace Academy of Hartford. A sellout crowd, a great environment expected. Starting 11s and kickoff next.
You've got a life to live, and you don't want to miss a beat. But sometimes it happens. And Trinity Health of New England is ready with comprehensive cardiovascular expertise delivered with commitment and compassion throughout our network of hospitals and physician offices. So when you trust your care to Trinity, you won't have to hope for the best. You can set your heart on it. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our partners, Goldberg Capital Management, Midline Chiropractic, Baronet Coffee, and Kineticare. Another good crowd filing in here in Hartford as we get set for Hartford Athletic and Charleston Battery. And you see just about set to kick off already. Ready for an early start, apparently, as we see the starting lineups tonight. Those are presented by Liberty Bank. And for the home side, Hartford, they've played in a 4-3-3 most of this year, looking to be a little bit more proactive with those wingbacks. Bruce, we'll talk about that more as we go on under Tab Ramos. This will be just the 4th game in charge for the former U.S. men's national team star. For Charleston, meanwhile, it looks as though they are going to go tonight to 4 at the back, which they've hardly done this year. They played 3 at the back for most of the time. We talked about all the goals they've been leaking lately, trying to be more solid here tonight. Yeah,
they're going to have to make sure that they just don't continue to give up goals. As we talked about in the open, 8 goals in 2 games. That's not going to work for Connor Casey. That's not going to work for the Charleston Battery. And we're moments away from getting started. And what I am interested to look at is Ariel Martinez, the Cuban national, who has played in the United States since 2016, starting with Miami FC, playing the number 9 today rather than the number 10.
So here we go. Another good crowd in Hartford, benefiting a special cause. 2 teams looking to build momentum toward 2023, and 2 sets of players looking to keep proving that they should be part of it.
Well, for Tab Ramos, what he's really concerned about is he's less concerned about his team playing for contracts and more he wants the points, because points equal the process.
Yeah, Tab Ramos has been really happy, he said this week, with how his players have responded to him. He said he was surprised how good the atmosphere in the dressing room already was. He said a lot of times when you come into a team that's been struggling, that's not the case, but they have good leaders in there.
And one of the things when we were talking to him about it was also the leadership of not only his captain, but Ariel Martinez.
That is how to play for a goal kick. So an opening minute attack by Hartford down that left side. There you see Daniel Kuzemka, who's getting the start between the pipes and has an awkward moment right away with one of his defenders playing it back to him under pressure. And Charleston have been rocky at the back, especially lately. Talked about that in our open, giving up 8 goals over their last 2 games. So Hartford beginning the match with some good possession, and that's also something that Tab Ramos wants to see more of from his side. He said they've played essentially as a counter-attacking team this year, but that's not how he envisions them playing long term. Wants them to be a side that possesses the ball and dictates play.
You get the feeling he really wants to play run and gun. He wants to possess the ball. He wants to create opportunities. And he's only had less than a handful of games to try to implement his system. And right now, it's just a matter of getting to know the personnel, finding where everybody plays the best.
Over the top here, wrestling match one. Carlos Obregon wrestled off the ball. Good defending. An early test passed for that Charleston back line.
You get the impression that he definitely wants to be a player's coach, and he has the pedigree. I mean, look, let's face it, his resume is as good as they come in this game. A year ago, he was with Houston. Had a number of months off when this opportunity came up. He jumped at it. He didn't want to wait to see what would happen in MLS. And you get the feeling that he's going to be quite successful in a city that he played in as a kid.
Yeah, very aware of the history, the soccer history here in Hartford. Charleston looking to settle themselves into this game. That goes out for a Charleston throw. Alex Billiter is our center referee this evening. Chance for Charleston to attack now. Mauro Sacharo out on the left side. Swung toward the box, but much too much on that, and out harmlessly for a goal kick.
Both of these teams have struggled, especially the last time out defensively. I think that this match is going to come down to who is more offensive minded and puts the pressure on that defense to see who's really going to blink first.
Saw Tab Ramos briefly on that Hartford bench. Hartford also announced just yesterday that they've added Connecticut Soccer Hall of Famer Don Gaspar as their goalkeeping coach. He'd been helping out unofficially for a while, and officially added to the technical staff. That is a big get for them.
No, it's huge. Dan is absolutely one of the best in the business, understands the position so well, and they go with Jimmy Slayton tonight to give him an opportunity to show Tab what he can do.
And that's a foul and a free kick, as Hartford gave it away needlessly in the center of the park, and it will result in an attacking set piece for Charleston. Romario Piggott, the man who was tripped up, and Leland Archer unhappy with the decision. Yes, you mentioned Jimmy Slayton getting the start between the sticks for Hartford tonight. He is a Hartford native and might be tested for the first time on this set piece. If Charleston can find a quality delivery. Looks like Mauro Sacchero is setting up over it.
Everybody in the mouth of the 18 right now, so you know if he doesn't want to go right at it, that's where it's going to go. This is pretty far if he wants to tee it up, and he's not going to.
But toward the top of the 6 and headed wide. Decent delivery. And A.J. Patterson, the captain, had gotten himself forward all the way from that back line and wasn't able to steer his header on target. Trinity Health of New England is proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic, always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. Matt Sheldon moving the ball to D.Z. Harmon, starting out on that right side. Saw Ariel Martinez pressing and harassing. 35 years old, but still has the energy to do that, and he's been having a great run. 5 goals in his last 7 games to lead Hartford lately.
Since leaving Cuba and coming to the United States and getting a start with Miami FC back in 2016, scored the first ever goal for Miami FC from way downtown Miami. Teed it up from distance and just found the back of the net. That seems to be what his game was really like when he played the number 9 for Miami FC, and now playing the number 10. Tab telling us the other day that Ariel's been scoring his goals inside the box, and he's been on a tear lately.
Yeah, I said he'd actually like to see him start shooting a bit more from outside the box as well. Let's see our keys to the game presented by Hoffman Auto Group. And for Hartford, they want to create more chances. Tab Ramos felt they haven't created enough lately, and hometown boys shine. That's referring to Jimmy Slayton starting in goal for them from Hartford. Solidified the defense and limit turnovers. We talked about that for Charleston. Hartford on the attack here. Left-footed effort on goal, and there's Daniel Kuzemka with the first save of the match.
What's really interesting about what's going on right here is Ariel Martinez playing the 10, which is not his native position, but as he gets older, it means that he's less mobile. However, he's not being less mobile right now. You see him moving around. He's kind of playing in the 10 because that's where he needs to be. He's also going to the way he used to play as the 9, as that looked like a handball, and that will continue. Is Martinez is a lot more active because it's not his native position.
Here's D.Z. Harmon for Charleston, dropping it back for a drive that's over the bar. Good attack for the battery, and it's out for a goal kick. Just going back briefly to those keys to the game, as we'll see this attack again. This was Prince Sadie cutting inside on his left for Hartford and putting it right at Daniel Kuzemka.
But I want to point out to you, Ariel Martinez away from the ball is running in because he knows if the rebound comes out, if there is a rebound, he's putting it in the back of the net. Keep your eye on number 6, folks, in those lime green kits that are going to be auctioned off later on for a great cause, Grace Academy. For Hartford, it's all about taking the chances, and if Charleston gives them an inch, look for them to take an absolute mile.
Yeah, and that's why Charleston have got to limit their turnovers. That's something that has plagued them this year, getting hit in transition, not having the proper defensive shape when they have the ball, so that if it turns over, they're in position to defend those transition moments. That's something Connor Casey, their head coach, spoke about this week, and that's why it's one of our keys to the game for them tonight. Again, presented by Hoffman Auto Group. We're 9 minutes in at 0-0. There's Jimmy Slayton pinging that ball up the right side. Battle for it won by Hartford. It's been a bright start by Prince Sadie out on that far side. Right-hand side of that attacking trio. Now Juan Carlos Obregon looking to dink one over the top. Into the run of Ariel Martinez, who puts the home side ahead.
Ariel Martinez is absolutely brilliant. Soccer IQ is absolutely through the roof. That's his 6th goal as of late. He is, and we just talked about it a few minutes ago, he is absolutely on a tear. And his soccer IQ and his motor is so good. You'll see it right here. Obregon over the top. He's looking for Martinez. Most players would look to slow down and play their ball off the chest right here. He doesn't do that. And Martinez is not tall. He waits on it, knows that he can give it to himself off the head. He puts it down, which also gives him enough time to see what the keeper is going to give him, and then he just makes him pay. 1-0 in the 10th. That's Ariel Martinez football.
Lethal and predatory and clinical. Showing that veteran experience indeed. 6th goal in his last 8 games. We're only 10 minutes into this one. And already that Charleston defense that's been so rocky this year. Hoping for more solidity tonight, but not the start they were hoping for. Well, please join us in helping founding partner the Hartford celebrate nearly 75 years of educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more.
You know, going back to Ariel Martinez for a second, what's interesting and most people don't remember, he debuted for in 2016 for Miami FC and made his debut in the United States after leaving Cuba for Charleston Battery.
So Charleston here looking to regroup after being hit by that early goal. Daniel Kuzemka wanted to play it short. Saw Hartford pushing forward, not allowing him to do that. Both of these coaches, when we talked to them this week, talked about how they both have a vision of how they want their teams to play, but both spoke about the need to be flexible. Now, sometimes you just have to find ways to get results, whether it's pretty or not, whether it's your preferred style or not. It's something Tab Ramos said that he learned a lot in his last job with Houston Dynamo. Wanted to play fast attacking soccer with young players. As that ball trying to split the middle again for Ariel Martinez. And he said afterward that he just realized sometimes you have to find ways to get more results, and he didn't do a good enough job of that. What a beautiful dinked ball that was by Juan Carlos Obregon to set up this lethal finish by Ariel Martinez a few minutes ago.
And what was really impressive there is Obregon was actually being pulled back and was able to power through it and get the pass off the way he did, right on the money. That's exactly what Hartford needs to do, and stepping in front of passes like that are going to help them as well.
Danny Barrera picking that ball off. Prince Sadie now cutting his way to the end line, squaring it across. It's 2. What a start this is for Hartford. That's Andre Lewis, and it's a dream opening 13 minutes for Hartford Athletic. They're 2 goals up.
Lewis breaking free, getting in the back of the net. What's great about Hartford right now is their play away from the ball is why they're creating these scoring opportunities. Look at this to the outside. You talked about Sadie, the little turnover. He buys enough time to get that pass into the middle, and Lewis just puts it in the back of the net. Lewis and Barrera were 2 guys that Ramos really wanted to see production out of, and he is seeing it already. Lewis getting that goal, making it a 2-0 affair here at home. This is the way that Hartford wants to play. They want to go vertical. We talked about it at the beginning of this match, how both of these teams need to go vertical. Defense might be, left a little suspect. And right now, Charleston playing on the back of their heels. You have to wonder. Charleston had to take a bus from their home city to Charlotte to fly to Hartford because of Hurricane Ian. The Charleston airport was closed, so they couldn't get out when they wanted to. So you got a few hours of a bus ride to Charlotte. That takes a lot out of you. You were delayed by a day. That takes a lot out of you. You got to fly to Hartford. That takes a lot out of you. And now, right now, trying to create opportunities, but the passes are not where they need to be.
Turned over there, though. Chance for Charleston to look for one back. DZ Harmon trying to create on that right side. Bracketed by two men in green and blue. And he does earn a throw by that corner flag. You're right, Bruce. It's been such a difficult travel week for them, such a difficult week in general for the folks of Charleston. We are glad that that storm apparently didn't cause the level of damage that we were afraid it might in that area, but still a very difficult week for everybody involved. And yeah, you do wonder if it's affecting them early. Is this onside? Apparently so, and crossed all the way to the back post over everyone's head. And that is a back heel that did not work out, and it hands another opportunity to Charleston. Headed up in the air by Tulu. Still loose. This is very ropey defending. Piggott out to DZ Harmon. Harmon clips it back post. Taken in eventually. And put toward the goal and sent back out. Still alive, though, for Charleston. This is frantic defending, and now we're seeing some of Hartford's defensive issues at times. Lifted back top of the 6, and that's headed clear. As Modu Jadama got something on that. And Hartford with a chance to reset. First real sustained attack we've seen from Charleston tonight. An opportunity for Hartford maybe to counter. The back heel attempt. You heard the crowd ooh, Danny Barrera. They could see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, Charleston has to go forward because they need to be able to just try to figure out exactly what kind of defending Hartford wants to play tonight.
Harmon put it off the back of Joel Johnson.
Charleston likes to go up the left side. We haven't seen that yet. They've been going up the right almost exclusively. So it'll be interesting to see when they do switch and they get Booth involved, who needs to get involved.
Play on, advantage played, says the referee, and it looked like there was going to be an opportunity for Aiden Apodaca. Had it open up for just a split second. It's Apodaca again, and leaving it, letting it run. Charlie Asensio thought he had a teammate behind him. He did not, and it's out for a throw. Well, tonight is the 4th annual Match for a Cause presented by Stanley Black & Decker. This year's charity of choice is the Grace Academy of Hartford. To bid on tonight's autographed game-worn jerseys and learn more about the Grace Academy, scan the QR code on your screen right now.
I would love to have an Ariel Martinez kit. It would not fit.
You're in good shape, Bruce. Come on, give yourself some credit.
That's only because we go to the same barber.
They are good-looking kits. The 4th annual, as we said, and they've worn different colored kits every year for this Match for the Cause. They've worn black, they've worn red, they've worn orange, and this year green. There's an outline of the city on it as well that you'll see if we have a close-up shot at some point. That's put out of play by Slayton for a Charleston throw. Certainly hope and expect those kits will raise lots of money tonight, because they should. They're great looking kits.
Well, they're great looking kits, and obviously going to be game worn in a game that Hartford right now is dominating.
Cross to the top of the area, headed clear. Hartford looking dangerous every time on the counter. Here's Prince Sadie keeping that in play. He has Martinez in the middle. He also has Lewis arriving, clipped into the middle, and this time defended away.
Good defending on the back line, but the breakaway is what Charleston really needs to be concerned about. You know, they've got that back line of 4, which they don't normally play, and they have to backtrack faster. It's one of the things that Connor Casey talked about is they've got to get back into position faster, especially when the counter is coming at them.
Free kick here for Hartford. Alex Billiter, again, our center referee tonight, really let the play run in these opening 19 minutes. Had a very fluid, good tempo to it.
No, she's definitely letting these guys play. Whistle's not really a factor. She's calling it when she has to.
There was a yellow card issued to Tulu a little bit ago for this foul that we're showing you right here. So Tulu, the first player.
Just take our word for it.
That's right. First player in the book tonight. Quick restart. Here come Hartford again. Juan Carlos Obregon, no, offside. But they just look so dangerous every time they get anywhere within the attacking half.
Well, and the offside on that, you can look at offsides in a couple of different ways. You can look at it as you're not knowing where the play is, being too far ahead of it. Sometimes it's just because the play is going so fast that sometimes you in trying to get in position, you'll overextend. So in this particular case, the fact that Hartford had the offside isn't as worrisome, to me at least, by the fact that they are moving the ball so well and creating so many chances that you are going to get caught offside from time to time.
Tab Ramos has to be pretty pleased with these opening 20 minutes. You wouldn't know it, of course, looking at his face. Coaches are rarely happy, at least happy looking during a game. But inside,
you always get them animated. You never see, you rarely see a manager that is stoic throughout a match, and both of these coaches in their first seasons with their respective clubs, trying to get used to new surroundings, new players, new cities.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Bruce. Tab Ramos talking about how he didn't want to sit out the rest of the year. Even though maybe he could have waited, maybe there would have been another MLS offer at the end of this MLS season, but he didn't want to wait that long. Wanted to get right back into coaching. Felt he'd learned some things after taking some time to review his methods and his processes, and felt that he could get better from an opportunity like this.
Well, he knows that he's in a very soccer-friendly environment. Hartford's such a storied area for professional soccer. Dillon Stadium, the Bicentennials, and right now he's got his team playing very, very well, up 2-0, scoring 2 goals in the first 13 minutes of this match.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our Community Champion program. Children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge. Free kick for Hartford. As again, Juan Carlos Obregon. We talked about the goals from Ariel Martinez and Andre Lewis, but it's been Obregon who's really been causing problems on the quick turn. As here is Joel Johnson getting forward and putting it across.
Hartford is really sticking to the game plan right now, and they're creating these great chances.
That went over the head of Obregon.
It'll be interesting to see at what point Hartford starts working the middle and working the left. Because right now, through 22 minutes, you've seen the attack pretty much down the right side. At some point, Charleston is going to wake up and go, it's coming the right, it's coming the right. And at what point does Hartford change the route of the attack just to keep Charleston honest?
Long out of the back. Joel Johnson knocking that down and playing back to Slayton. Jimmy Slayton, a University of Hartford alum. He's from the area. Just his second appearance since June 16th. He got to play a bunch early in the year. Given an opportunity tonight in front of his hometown crowd, and Tab Ramos told us he was very excited to play tonight, as you would expect. Charleston have not been able to test him much so far in the first half.
And Tab wanted to see what Slayton had in him, and he really hasn't had an opportunity since the new manager took over. So in this particular case, this is a big showcase for Slayton. And like you said, really, he hasn't had to do much.
That will be just fine as far as he's concerned and as far as Hartford are concerned.
Oh yes, every goalkeeper, when they lace up the boots and they put on the gloves, they want to go into the pipes and they don't want to have to make a single save. If they can get a clean sheet without taking a shot right on frame, hey, that's a great night for any keeper. And it says a lot about the defense too. And right now, Hartford defending very, very well. Obviously, Charleston has created a few opportunities, but they're getting into the final third, but then they're out of position to take quality shots. And that is the difference between this match right now, is Hartford is making their way down the pitch. They're creating quality opportunities. Charleston getting down the pitch, and then that's where things fall apart. The question becomes, when you really want to analyze it, is it because of the Hartford defense, or is it because the Charleston offense is just kind of falling apart by the time they get into a scoring position?
The Hartford free kick. So nearly 25 minutes gone, and Hartford leading by those 2 early goals from Ariel Martinez in the 10th and Andre Lewis in the 13th. Obregon the assist on the first, Sadie the assist on the second. That's a great switch out to the right side. Pinged out there by Danny Barrera. Taken in by Sadie. On the right it goes, the overlap from Budati. His cross, a good one, and it goes through everyone. And boy, another shaky moment for that Charleston back line. Fortunate that they weren't punished this time.
I want to go back to something I talked about a few minutes ago. The attack coming down the right side, and it's working, it's working, it's working. You have to wonder, are they going to ever switch? Because they don't have to. Because they found a weakness in the Charleston left side in terms of defense, and you really don't ever want to get away with what is working. But at some point, I got to go back to it. If it doesn't happen in the first half, it at least has to happen in the dressing room with Connor Casey getting a hold of his guys and saying, look, on the left-hand side, you guys need to hammer it down.
Here's Budati again. Cutting inside, it ran away from him. That was Danny Barrera, excuse me, and now a foul against Barrera and a free kick for Charleston. Lyco Office Furniture is a proud sponsor of the Hartford Athletic, And for over 40 years, Lyco Office Furniture has been furnishing startup to Fortune 500 companies all over New England. Go to lycoinc.com for more information. That was very good control. Very well done by Andre Lewis. Excellent juggling at close quarters, then the little turn. Boy, that's a classy little move. Put that on his personal highlight reel for this year. And it could start a Hartford attack. Back they come down that right side, as Bruce mentioned. There's just no stopping them on that side right now. Man goes down in the box. Referee waves the claims away. Attack still alive. It's Barrera. That was Budati who went down looking for the penalty. Now Sadie looking to burst to the end line and was stood up this time.
One of the rare trips down the pitch in which Hartford hasn't been able to get into the middle to get that shot off. Good defense that time for Charleston. We'll keep an eye on how many times they can shut them down on that side. But Charleston, again, the book on Charleston is they like to come up the left, and basically it's right versus right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. Charleston are known for that left-sided attack and have shown very little of it so far. Charleston also known for sending one of those center backs forward to join the attack quite a bit, much more than most teams generally do. They haven't been able to do a ton of that either in the opening 30 minutes.
I think part of that is the fact that you give up 8 goals in 2 games. You know that you've got a lot of leaks in your defense. Sending
Harmon's cross, a good one, and sent right at the keeper. And there's the first save of the match for Jimmy Slayton. It was put on frame by Aiden Apodaca.
Apodaca doing a good job of putting his head on it. The service was fantastic. Right now, if you look at this match, Charleston They're going up the right, up the right, up the right. I know they're trying to stay away from the left because that's the scouting report on them, but they've got to mix it up right now. Hartford doesn't need to change a thing. I mean, this service is fantastic, and it's a good head on. If he doesn't lose his feet, maybe he goes to a post, but that is what Charleston needs to do more of.
Andrew Booth now looking to burst into the area. The green shirts flooded back. Now he clips it out toward Harmon. DZ Harmon almost helped Charleston get back in it a moment ago. Back in the attack here to the end line. Harmon's cross cut out. Corner. It will be the first corner of the match.
Smart play by Harmon to earn the corner. So often you see guys go to the baseline, they're marked, and you'll see they'll still try to thread the needle when there's nothing there. Just send it off the body, earn a corner, live to play another day.
First Bank of America corner kick of the night. There's Jimmy Slayton directing traffic. Mauro Saccharo swings this in. Low delivery, awkward one to deal with. It was dealt with. Only to the edge of the box, comes back out of play. It will be a throw.
One of the rare times you've seen Hartford not do what they're supposed to do on defense, which is to clear it out.
Saccharo cross might have taken a deflection, and that's with Barrera, and Hartford can play out. Here they come on another one of those dangerous looking counters. Martinez, great command. And then he finds Andre Lewis, and Lewis looking to scoop it back to Martinez. Left-footed effort just over the bar. What interchange for Hartford. Another great attack, and just off this time.
Outstanding effort. Martinez running onto this ball, and the buildup is fantastic. They get it into the middle. Martinez is amazing that he even gets that shot off around Archer, because Archer is right in front of him. Still gets it off. I think if Archer was a half a foot behind where he was, it's a 3-0 game, and Martinez has the brace. He had to lift it up to even get the shot off. That's the difference between being 3-0 and staying at 2.
But you mentioned his veteran savvy, his ability to get a shot away, to not hesitate, to not overthink. It's really impressive. We saw it on the first goal and almost saw another goal there. Located in Windsor, Connecticut, Day Hill Dome. As that's offside. Day Hill Dome will feature the region's only full-size indoor field, plus multiple outdoor fields. Visit dayhilldome.com for more information.
Martinez is so skilled, 35 years old. He's been playing football his entire life. Don't forget, he played for the Cuban national team. That's how he ended up defecting, going to Charleston first, then Miami, Tulsa, now here in Hartford. He's been in this country since 2015, playing professionally. He understands this level very, very well, very, very comfortable. As you said earlier, Donnie, well liked, a leader on the pitch and off as well.
Apodaca now, Harmon, chance for Charleston. Harmon drives, and Slayton is behind it.
I love this shot by Harmon. Coming in, nobody is expecting that he's going to take the shot because he's been serving it up throughout the evening. Gets that shot off. Not sure of the traffic that was in front of him, if he even had an opportunity to go to the far post, but the fact that he got that shot off is really impressive. I'm just waiting for Charleston to at least take a chance to go up that left side. I'm not sure what they're seeing on the left side defensively from Hartford that they feel like they can't travel up that side.
Well, it's been a really entertaining first 32.5 minutes. Both sides with lots of attacking intent. It's been Hartford who have had the cutting edge so far. Martinez and Lewis with those 2 quick goals, and that's offside.
And if it wasn't offside, somebody was getting a card.
Mario Piggott looking to start another attack, threading to Apodaca. Saccharo able to turn. Apodaca, first time effort deflected. And we're starting to see Charleston work more and more attacks, still mining this right channel, but doing it with good effect.
Hartford doing a really good job of getting in position, setting themselves up, making sure that they're playing the ball, and that is the reason why we're seeing, yes, Charleston is taking some decent shots now, which they're playing themselves into the game, but the difference is they're taking shots, but they're not getting really quality shots because the defenders are well in position to make sure they're cutting off angles or making it very difficult to get those shots off in the first place.
Harmon with another cross. We're at that top of the 6-yard box. Falls on the edge of the area. Volleyed effort was miscued and out for a goal kick. It was A.J. Patterson. Again, that center forward, that's what we were talking about earlier. A center forward getting forward to the edge of the box to have that strike. Just unable to take it cleanly on the bounce.
Yeah, he tried, and that was one of those in-between hops. You hear it more in baseball than you do in soccer, but that in-between hop on a pitch that you're not familiar with, and it just jumped up on him a little bit quicker. Artificial turf, that's what happens, is the ball tends to skip. It's one of the reasons why when you talk about playing football, and folks, when you're watching at home and you get to see what's going on before the play starts, you often see that the field is watered. Why? Because the players love to play on slick surfaces. It's fast, it's true, and the ball skips. And that was one of those situations where the ball just kind of got onto the turf and jumped up on him a little too fast.
Hartford attacking again. Prince Sadie. Now Barrera. Danny Barrera on his left. Trying to touch it along was Martinez, looking to play the 1-2 with Barrera. Good idea.
Pass into Martinez was a little too late. By the time that pass there was just hesitation on the pass. By the time the pass got off, Martinez had to come back to the ball, drew the defender, and that's the reason why the turnover happened.
Charleston's turn to attack. Forward they come with Sacharo. Apodaca. Andrew Booth. Booth with an effort way over. Didn't catch it cleanly. Hartford Athletic is proud to partner with Baronet Coffee, a 4th-generation family-owned business. Founded in 1930, Baronet roasts and sells only the finest specialty coffees. Go to baronetcoffee.com and save 20% on your first order with the code Hartford Athletic.
So interesting offensively. If you think back to American football, it's almost like each of these teams are sending all of their receivers wide right. And you say wide right, you start thinking about FSU football in the past. But that's the attack is for Hartford, they're coming up the right, and for Charleston, they're coming up on the right. And it's just fascinating to me that the heat index on this game is showing is equal as the entire pitch is being used. But if you took both halves and you put them on top of each other, all of the action is coming up the right side. This is extremely rare to see Charleston right here, and I would love to see them, well, now that they've slowed it down, they're going to have to recycle around, but I would love to see them get the ball on the left, move quickly, go, and just see what the left side of Hartford's defense is.
Again, as we're going to have a free kick for Charleston here. Tab Ramos talked so much in our conversation with him this week about how much Charleston liked to attack down that left side and how they're going to have to be ready for that. And you can tell they've been so prepared for it that Charleston have just not had room on that left side, which has forced them back to the right. And they've created some opportunities there, as you've said, but forced out of what they normally like to do.
But ultimately what happens is we've got a player down, Harmon. You got to at least keep the defense honest in any sport. You have to keep the defense honest, and right now, yeah, you're working the right, you're working the right. Maybe the game plan from Connor Casey is work the right, tire everybody out on the right side, come in the second half and go down the left side. The only problem is you go down the left side, by that time, you might as well, if you want to get everybody tired, keep going down the right.
Apodaca, good first touch to Andrew Booth. Booth trying to work an opportunity. It's stabbed out for a corner. And it will be the second corner of the match for Charleston.
Another great opportunity, but the problem is there's nobody trailing the play on the left side for Charleston, and that's the reason why Booth was trying to do everything himself.
Bank of America corner kick. And again, Mauro Saccharo hovers over it with that left foot and again delivers low. Able to chest away there. Had time to volley it away then, Modou Jadama. We've seen 2 corners and 2 low skidding deliveries from Saccharo, and it looks like that's deliberate. And both times Modou Jadama's been forced to make a bit of an awkward chest trap and then clearance. He had time to do it that time.
Like to see Charleston throw the ball up in the air, see who can head it on. And if you want to keep it low and you want to drive it, push it outside and at least give one of your teammates an opportunity to just blast it from about 16, 18 out.
DZ Harmon again. He's been their main threat in this first half, pulling it to the top of the area, and another effort from the top of that 18-yard box is very wayward.
Yeah, but on that one again, you got somebody that's just chipping at it. You're bringing your sand wedge right here. Why are you bringing your sand wedge? You don't need it. Put your left foot down, plant it, and plow through it. Don't chip it up in the air. Bring the 3-wood, leave the sand wedge at home.
Romario Piggott, you can see his frustration as he will need to receive some instruction from Coach Bruce, apparently, with some golf analogies to help the learning process. Now, Romario Piggott's had some good moments this year. He's scored goals for them, capable of scoring from that range. That's why he was so frustrated with himself. That's a very good intervention by Joel Johnson to halt that counter. An awkward one here, and Johnson has it nutmeg right through him. And Booth with an effort that skids wide. Not the best sequence for Hartford defensively, but they get away with it.
Well, on that particular exchange, the mistake by Johnson leads to that shot. The shot is a really good idea, and it comes really a lot closer than you would have thought. And Booth picking the right place to go. There were just too many defenders in his way that he could be as precise as he wanted to be on the shot, but you're still going far post. Why do you go far post? Because if Slayton comes out and has to go to the ground and just knock it away, put a hand out, a rebound opportunity is there. And that is what I think Charleston needs to start playing for right now, is go up there, take as many rips on Slayton as they can, hope that he punches it away or bobbles a ball, and they can be opportunistic and put it in the back of the net that way. Because right now, they're taking shots from outside. They're creating chances. As the half has gone on, they've created more chances, but they're still running into the same problem with finishing.
Hartford looking for the counter here. Martinez is tussled to the ground by Enoch Kwakwa, and a free kick for the home side. Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thanks to their partners Jim Beam Bourbon and Hornitos Plata Tequila. Hartford would love a 3rd goal to essentially kill this game before half. That's a great delivery. Chested down and just stabbed away from Juan Carlos Obregon before he could shape for a shot.
Obregon unable to trap it, so here comes Charleston up the right side.
DZ Harmon, who's had a lot of that attacking play for them in this first half. He's it inside to Enoch Kwakwa. Hasn't been as involved in this first half as he probably would have liked and as Charleston would have liked. He scored against Hartford in their first meeting back in June. That was a 3-1 Charleston victory at home.
And Connor Casey telling us, we'll hold on that for a second.
Chance for Obregon to shield, which he does very well.
Casey saying one of his goals for this match was he just wanted to win the season series against Hartford.
Yep, that was one of the goals they set out for their team, to win some season series against the opponents they have remaining.
Obviously a very different club than they saw the last time when they hosted Hartford.
Harmon again, looking to run, and there again is Joel Johnson. Stays in play along the touchline. Chance for Charleston to continue the attack with Kwakwa. Now turning with it, Saccharo. Squared to Apodaca. Apodaca trying to work space for a chance. Apodaca's cross. Back to goal, and just not able to fashion a chance from all of that. More frustration for Charleston, frustrating, and the Charleston bench led by Connor Casey protesting.
Now that won't reverse the call, but just makes the referee think a little bit the next time she goes to blow a whistle. And this was a very interesting breakaway, and that's the problem is coming back and having to spin around to try to pick up the ball is why the play didn't continue and why he was able to draw the foul.
Free kick taken while the referee had her back turned, and that's why she says, no, let's do that again, please.
You can't fault Hartford for wanting to start up quickly. You know, you're in the 45th minute, you're in command of this game. If you can close it out with a quick start and catch Charleston napping, that's what you want to do.
Been quite a pip over it, and Jadama hanging it down that left. Intended for Andre Lewis, and it's Lewis inside the box, squaring it across. It's cut out. It'll be the first Bank of America corner for Hartford tonight. As we approach the 45th minute, we'll have an additional 1 minute of stoppage time as Lewis was able to dance his way in. And it was put out of play by A.J. Patterson. Brignall Vineyard stoppage time, 1 minute here in this first half.
And that was one of those buildups on the left for Hartford.
So a late Bank of America corner for the home side. 2 early goals. Is there a late one for them in this half? Delivery to the top of the 6. Headed up in the air unconvincingly and finally booted clear.
The clearance doesn't go quite as far as Charleston would like.
All kinds of space on that left now for Joel Johnson. What can Johnson fashion here? Johnson able to beat one man. Johnson's ball back post. Volleyed in front. It's 3. It's Juan Carlos Obregon capping off a sensational first half performance for himself personally and for Hartford collectively. They are 3-0 up going into the break.
Just at the end, a stoppage. Great individual effort to get this pass off high in the air, and then that pass inside. And the attack now coming from the left. It doesn't matter where Hartford is bringing the ball up, but Joel Johnson with an absolutely outstanding individual effort, and that ball sent back into the middle. That's the way you want to play it. Sadie's been doing a great job of serving the ball into the middle, and that'll do it for the first 45 plus 1.
That was indeed the final kick of the first half, and it was a big kick in the gut for Charleston. Going into half at 2-0, still manageable, still maybe something you can turn around. Much more difficult for them now. Hartford in front of this big crowd, playing for a great cause and playing phenomenal football in those opening 45 minutes. We will, of course, see highlights and stats from this first half. We'll also look at scores and situations from around the rest of USL Championship. All of that and more coming up at halftime. Hartford Athletic 3, Charleston Battery 0. First half domination for the men in green and blue. Halftime in Hartford, a dominant first half performance for Hartford Athletic as they lead Charleston Battery 3-0 with 2 goals early and 1 goal very late in those opening 45. I'm Donnie Barnes with Bruce Silverman. Let's see our first half highlights, and it's going to be a lot of highlights for those men in green and blue. In the 10th minute, they opened the scoring, and it was Juan Carlos Obregon with that beautiful little dinked ball into the run of Ariel Martinez, who finished so professionally, the way a 35-year-old veteran, well, the way you would expected him to, but he has been so hot of late. 6 goals now in his last 8 games, and he got Hartford off on the perfect note in those opening 10. And then just 3 minutes later, it was 2-0. A bad pass in the middle, cut out by Danny Barrera, who started the attack down that right flank, where most of Hartford's attacks came in that first half. Then Prince Sadie getting himself to the inside, crossing it, and his square ball was touched home by Andre Lewis. And look at the coolness from Lewis. Knew he just needed to guide that. Didn't even make the cleanest connection, but didn't really need to. And then in the first and only minute of stoppage time, Charleston trying to just get to the half, down 2-0, and they couldn't do it as Joel Johnston able to create that 3rd goal that was put away eventually by Juan Carlos Obregon.
And they take their chances on the left side, ball into the middle, and it finds the back of the net. For a club that's just trying to hang on, and you're holding on to that 2-0 deficit, and then you just give up this at the death goal at the end of the half, that makes the trip into the locker room and the discussion in the locker room that much more difficult.
A goal and an assist in the first half for Juan Carlos Obregon. And the home side with lots of smiles. You see our first half match stats. 5 shots for Hartford, 3 of them wound up in the net. 10 shots officially for Charleston, but most of them way off target. And the 2 that they put on frame, Jimmy Slayton was able to handle without incident. Just the 1 yellow card in the first half. That was shown to Tulu of Hartford. Otherwise, a very clean and very free-flowing opening 45. So, all Hartford in those opening 45. Back with more news and highlights from around USL Championship when we continue.
You strive to stay on top of your health, but you can't always see what's coming. So whether you're ready or not, we are. At Trinity Health of New England, offering you expert orthopedic care throughout our hospitals and physician offices, whenever you need us, for whatever it is. You didn't plan on the pain, but you can make your next move an easy one. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Halftime continuing in Hartford. A dominant lead for the home team. Hartford with that 3-goal advantage over Charleston Batteries. We welcome you back to halftime here. It's time to take a look at news and notes from around USL Championship as we head very much down the home stretch in this regular season now, with teams jockeying for positioning and playoff seeding, and at least in the Western Conference, playoff places. Race for the East, Louisville City FC and Memphis 901 separated by just 2 points coming into tonight. And on that Western front, still 9 teams battling for the final 4 spots. San Antonio FC can clinch the #1 overall seed potentially tonight. That matchup to watch, Birmingham Legion FC hoping to stick to a top 4 spot. They're traveling out to Oakland Roots. Well, they're already there. They're going to play later tonight. Oakland trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They've had a good second half, but they still need to do a lot of work to sneak in to that top 7. So lots of stuff to watch, and all of that, of course, on ESPN+, but still plenty to come here tonight. Hartford will hope to build on that great first half performance. Charleston seeking a route back. More next.
There's comfort in routine, and discomfort can be a disruption. But Trinity Health of New England is here to help with an experienced urology team offering advanced diagnostics and treatment expertise throughout our hospitals and physician offices. Because if something is keeping you from living well, you deserve better and the very best care to make it happen. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there. You've got a life to live, and you don't want to miss a beat. But sometimes it happens. And Trinity Health of New England is ready with comprehensive cardiovascular expertise delivered with commitment and compassion throughout our network of hospitals and physician offices. So when you trust your care to Trinity, you won't have to hope for the best. You can set your heart on it. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there. You've made changes, smart choices, a commitment. So this can be hard to understand. But at Trinity Health of New England, we do. Throughout our hospitals and physician offices, our dedicated weight management team provides expert guidance and care for a successful, personalized journey to better health. Because we understand it's not about what you hope to lose, but all you can expect to gain. Trinity Health of New England. Care that's always there.
Lazy Fly Airport Parking is a proud partner of the Hartford Athletics. Save 20% on your airport parking by pre-booking on lazyfly.com. We are getting set for half number 2 in Hartford, as Hartford Athletic with that commanding 3-0 edge on Charleston Battery. Donnie Barnes back with Bruce Silverman. And again, as you see our pictures at Trinity Health Stadium here in Hartford, a sold-out crowd. A great cause being benefited tonight by these game-worn jerseys that are being auctioned off during and after the game. And Bruce, the home side certainly holding up their side of that equation. We've talked about how dominant they've been. From Charleston's perspective, it's been a difficult year. It's been an especially difficult last couple weeks. The 2 heavy defeats coming into this one, 3-0 last week to Rio Grande Valley, 5-0 the week before to Memphis 901, and now 3-0 in just the first half here tonight. Regardless of whether they can get all the way back into this in the second half, so important for them, you feel, to at least salvage some kind of momentum, some kind of good feeling from this second 45 tonight.
They've got to try different things. We talked about it in the first half. They're a team that's known for going up the left side. They went exclusively up the right. I'm baffled by that. At least every once in a while, move it over there. Keep the defense honest. Create opportunities on a side that you're familiar with creating opportunities on. For Hartford, they're basically doing everything right, and they're almost exclusively coming up the right. Now, on that last goal, the play came from the left, but it started center. So it was rare that they switched sides on it, and it was a really outstanding finish. For both of these teams, we talked about it. Both of these teams wanted 3 points in this match. Both coaches recognize that players are playing for contracts. Neither coach was emphasizing or even bringing it up. That's something that the players should just have in the back of their mind. Fans are having a great time on this one. Obviously, when your club goes into the locker room at half 3-0, you're happy about the performance of the match. But for these two clubs, it's about the way that they finish this match. One, no injuries. Two, Charleston just needs to save face and find a way to go to the back of the net. For Ramos, I'm thinking with a 3-0 lead, it's an opportunity not to call upon Augie Williams, who is, coming back from international duty. Giving him the night off tonight would be a good thing for him. He's played a lot of football, tracked a lot of miles in travel to play for his national club. So to keep him off the pitch, I think, is a great situation for these two teams, and we're going to see a substitution on the Charleston side of things.
Yeah, that is Preston Kilwine, who is checking in for them, replacing Matt Sheldon along their back line. And I don't know if Matt Sheldon was at fault for all 3 goals in that first half necessarily, but when you're a head coach and your team ships 3 goals in the first half, you probably have to make some kind of change on that back line.
Yeah, most likely that is a consideration. Most managers do not like to make changes on the back line. It was a little bit more of an issue when there were strictly 3 substitutions rather than now the 5. So to make this change, you've got, just in case you're not familiar, folks, there are 3 windows in which a club can make substitutions. The 4th window is actually a freebie, and that is coming out of the dressing room to start the 46th minute. So now you see Ariel Martinez in the middle of the circle as Hartford will start things back up.
Hartford again wearing those special green kits tonight, as referee Alex Billiter gets us back underway for the second 45. As Ariel Martinez taking his time, and now will be told to retake that opening kick of the second half.
Yeah, Ariel, you took too long.
He says, I'm 35 years old. I have 6 goals in my last 8 games. If I want to take a little extra time for the second half kick, I'll do it, darn it. We're back underway. So Hartford looking to maintain that good momentum from the first half and see this game out. Charleston again trying to get themselves back in. And of course, if they could find an early goal in this second half, who knows? But it certainly did not look good from them in that opening 45. And at minimum, they want to show much better in this second half. And that is a foul and a free kick to Hartford. And there is Augustine Williams, who is also checked in.
So much for giving Augie the night off.
Yeah, apparently, as you said, Bruce, he just got back from international duty with Sierra Leone, and there you see he replaces Mauro Saccharo. Those substitutions are presented by 4G Recycling. And that's a great ball right down the middle. And right away, an opportunity for 4. And a save made by Kuzemka as he denies Andre Lewis a second goal of the night and a 4th for Hartford. Now a foot race at the other end, and Slayton out of his area. Gave it straight to Apodaca, but tracking back to win that ball back was Danny Barrera. Frantic opening 90 seconds of the second half after a pretty frantic opening 45. And here we go again down the left side for Hartford. Onto the right foot, and that cannons off a body. That was Juan Carlos Obregon looking for another. It is very much a track meet early in this second half.
Look at this, the ball's on the left for Charleston. It was short-lived, but it was up the left.
Now onto the right it goes, and there's DZ Harmon, who saw a lot of the ball in the first half, lifting it right to that goal mouth. And a cross not on target and taken in by Jimmy Slayton. And again, as a Hartford native, playing for just the second time since mid-June. Jimmy Slayton, graduate of the University of Hartford, as we told you in the first half. I'm sure he has lots of friends and family here tonight. So far, so good for him and for his teammates.
And what's exciting for him is his kid's going to get auctioned off.
Yeah, you think some members of the Slayton family are going to bid that up pretty well? We'll see this chance again from a moment ago. Just straight down the middle, and Andre Lewis was away.
And what's interesting about this shot selection by Lewis is I think he takes it too soon. He takes it before he knows exactly what the keeper is going to do. If he's a little bit more patient, keeper goes to the ground, all you have to do is lift it, and it's a 4-0 affair.
I suspect Tab Ramos would love to see Hartford just have a little period of possession here, just kind of calm the game down a bit. Doesn't necessarily want it to be as frantic as it's been in the first few minutes of the second half when you're up 3-0.
Well, it's an opportunity for Hartford to play a slightly different game. When you're up 3-0, you can start to do things that you didn't have to do when it was 0-0. And you can play possession, you can play keep away.
Good play there from Augie Williams. To thread in Aiden Apodaca, keeps it in play by the corner flag and earns a throw, which he tried to throw right off of Modou Jadama. That didn't quite work out the way he wanted. That spins out, and it will be a throw again for Charleston. Augustine Williams on at halftime, wearing that number 9 for Charleston. He leads them in goals with 14 on the year. So you saw a quick look at Prince Sadie.
And Sadie had 2 assists on those 3 goals.
Yep, he assisted Lewis in the 13th and Obregon in the 45th. So Sadie had 2 assists, Obregon a goal and an assist, Andre Lewis a goal, and he's almost had a couple others. Well, don't miss Hartford Athletics' final home match of the season right here at Trinity Health Stadium on October 7th at 7 p.m. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information. If they play anything like this, that will not be one to miss. This game's been terrific from an entertainment standpoint. Of course, if you're a Charleston fan, it's not been as enjoyable. Here they come, still time to get themselves back in this. It's Augie Williams having a blast, and what a blast. Augie Williams straight off the bench and straight onto the score sheet, and Charleston do have one back early in the second half. It's 3-1.
Tab certainly know where his goals can come from, inserting Williams because he really wasn't happy with number 94 in the first half in terms of production, and then all of a sudden this is what happens. Actually, Connor Casey on the change.
Yeah, that was Booth, excuse me. Andrew Booth dribbling up that right side, and what a rip with that right foot. Wow. Can't hit him much sweeter than that.
No, that's the way you want to tickle the twine.
Now Hartford looking to hit right back down that left channel. They have options in the box. Martinez was screaming for it, didn't get it. Out of the back post, headed down by Prince Sadie. Now Barrera. Wanted it left to him, it was not. Sadie has the overlap from Budati. Puts it at the top of the 6-yard box. It's headed away. This will be a corner for Hartford. A Bank of America corner coming, their second of the match. And so Charleston with life here early in the second half, and Hartford trying to snuff it right back out.
We're seeing a little bit more oomph from Charleston in the second half, and it has to do obviously with the goal, but it's also just the way they're playing. They're playing a little bit more wide open, using more of the pitch to do their dirty work. And now Barrera, the captain, has a short option.
Barrera with a chance to deliver an in-swinger, but does play it short instead to Lewis. Back toward Barrera. Interesting attempt there by Martinez, just cut out. Just a lot of Augie Williams there. Williams does help lead that press when he's on the pitch. Create some pressure there. Just kept in play along that touchline. And a throw given away. So there you see that press by Williams, which Charleston didn't have in that first half with him not on the pitch.
Yeah, you would think that you bring in Augie Williams, it's going to be more offensive minded, and that may be the case.
Chance for two. It is two. And Charleston right back in it. Aiden Apodaca this time. What a start to the second half. They were nearly 4-0 down a minute into half number 2. Now they're back within a goal.
Connor Casey must have had some real pearls of wisdom, because this is just a beautiful pass and a beautiful putback. And from every single angle, including this one here, ground level, and that is as pretty as it comes. Plays it off the chest, makes sure he knows which way Slayton is going, and then just kind of toe pokes it into the back of the net. Now we've got a real affair here, Donnie, at 3-2 with plenty of time to go, more than 35 minutes.
So the track meet continues. Hartford to the attack now. They'll have a free kick. Wow. If you thought this second half was just going to be a procession or a formality, not anymore.
No, I really didn't think that that was going to be the case. I thought that the play was going to be a little bit more wide open. I thought both of these teams were really going to go at it. Had a feeling it was going to be more offensive affair than a defensive affair. Right now, Hartford outplayed the Battery in the first half. Battery gets off 10 shots. None of them were any kind of danger. You figure they've got to change something. Casey has the pearls of wisdom, makes some changes, and all of a sudden they're playing much better. Now Hartford has an opportunity on a set piece from a very good position.
Delivered in well and touched away at that back post. Boy, they had Tulu crashing in. Just needed a touch.
And you see Tulu frustrated. He grabs onto the upright and kind of kicks it, knowing that he had an opportunity to get ahead on this one. Corner coming up on the other side.
Another Bank of America corner kick for Hartford. They only had one in the first half. Had two in the first 10 minutes in the second half. But it's Charleston who have scored twice to go from 3-0 to 3-2. Hartford looking to widen that edge again. Barrera's ball in. Clear the first man. Williams lost it. Budati resets for Hartford. Barrera unable to find Martinez with the header.
In the first half, that gets to Martinez. Now in the second half, Charleston approaching the game differently. And now here's the attack on the left side.
Here it is indeed. It's Andre Lewis. Lewis trying to dance his way in, but stood up. That was well defended by DZ Harmon.
What we're seeing inside the box is too much thinking from Hartford. They're there. They need to move quicker. Every time you start thinking, which way do you want to go? I've got options. Martinez is there.
There's Lewis again. Pulling it to the top of the area. It reaches Barrera eventually. Barrera wanted to have a crack with that left foot.
And that wasn't intended for Barrera in the first place.
Budati, his cross. Back out of the area toward the corner, and will be ushered out by Sadie for a throw.
Budati right now surveying his options.
It's Barrera, and Barrera's cross in. It's 4-2. What a ball, tucked away.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's a second of the night for Andre Lewis.
57th minute. Lewis has his brace. Ramos talking about how he wanted more production out of Barrera and Lewis, and why not if they connect and get more production together. Barrera, this thing was right on the money, running right onto it. And Charleston now 2 goals down once again. But Lewis with the brace at this point, not even 60 minutes in, Home crowd very, very happy with the way that their club is playing. As difficult a year as it's been, crowd is into this match, excited, loud, boisterous. Great atmosphere here.
Well, the goals just keep coming. Now Charleston keep coming. Booth, who scored that first goal for them, harass and win that ball back, but it's a free kick for Hartford. Since 2018, the Fix has been Hartford County's leading wellness spa. Whenever you need a quick B12 shot to increase energy or a vitamin infusion to rehydrate, this is the place to reset your mind and body. Take time, treat yourself, and invest in your health. This game not great for the health of either manager so far. Great for everybody else.
I think managers are used to it. As a manager, you can't get too high, too low. You got to stay in the moment and also start to see the set pieces. And what I mean by set pieces in this particular case is not a set piece in terms of soccer, more in terms of the chess match that you're playing. Making sure that you have your players in the position that you want. You got the personnel on the pitch. You're thinking, if this happens, this is the way that I want us to react to it. And right now, this is a lot more scoring output than we expected. And don't forget, early on,
opportunity here for Charleston. Booth wide. Claiming a deflection, there was one, and it will be a corner.
Booth getting more and more involved in this match. And that's exactly what Connor Casey wants. Ball swings out to the right. Now in the box, just a short little push to Booth, who ultimately got the shot off. And a corner coming up. We're an hour into this one.
It's a Bank of America corner kick. Apparently Jimmy Slayton made a save there, got a little touch to it. And an important one. Otherwise that ball probably goal bound. Corner will be taken by Enoch Kwakwa. First some pushing in the box, and referee Alex Billiter sternly warning Budati and Patterson to cut that out. Budati saying, "What am I doing? I'm just standing here." That's what they all say, of course.
Absolutely. Nobody's admitting. It's like, you know, from Hogan's Heroes, I know nothing.
Enoch Kwakwa had to wait a long time to take this corner, and finally Alex Billiter feels that it can proceed. Skidded in low, an awkward one again. We've seen Charleston try that with most of their corners tonight, taking those low skidding corners. Attack still alive with Booth. Booth given room, flipping it to the spot, and just couldn't be taken in cleanly by Leland Archer. Otherwise he would have had a great opportunity.
Yeah, the pass was actually intended for Archer. Teammate got in front of it, slowed things down.
Asensio trying to thread it up the middle. It's one back by Apodaca.
And what's interesting now is you have Williams out on the left and the attack still coming from the right.
DZ Harmon. Harmon to the end line. Did he win a corner? Yes, he did. Another one for Charleston. Another Bank of America corner.
Harmon now, we've seen him throughout the match on the right side trying to center, so now he's drawing double attention. And that's just because Charleston has become so predictable.
Another one for Enoch Kwakwa to take. In by Kwakwa, and it goes through everyone. It was a good delivery. Martinez out. That's easily picked off by Charlie Asensio. And then his touch wasn't great. And Hartford can run. And Prince Sadie can run. A lot of black and gold in front of him. And he's taken down. It will be the first card of the night for Charleston. Preston Kilwine on at the start of the second half and now into the book.
Came in the 46th, gets the card in the 65th.
Prince Sadie with those 2 first-half assists. Might have been headed for another. Kilwine, maybe not the worst card for him to take, although he had a lot of support. Sadie with his speed can always cause problems. For a brief second there, we saw Tab Ramos conferring with a few of his Hartford players along the touchline who would come over to him for a little mini huddle.
Usually managers have to play the game of telephone. You tell the guy who's closest to you and you start getting the message all the way across. In that particular case, Ramos taking advantage of the set piece being close to him.
Flourish Catering is a proud sponsor of Hartford Athletic. Feed your team, clients, or guests like professional athletes, and let Flourish Catering provide healthy and delicious meal solutions for your next meeting. Barrera's ball in. Top of the box, touched along by Sadie. Prince Sadie, back post, just headed away.
Good defending by Charleston.
Then nearly turned over, and it cannoned off Lewis, out for a Charleston throw.
They just need to be more deliberate in the way that they want to clear out any kind of danger. They're just, in that particular case, it was just lazy clearances, and you're just inviting Hartford to come right back into your face.
Hartford applying that little press. Charleston able to play their way out of it decently. We have a substitution now for Hartford. That will be a 4G recycling substitution. Robert Lapper is coming on. He was just added to the roster recently. He is a UConn alum, and he replaces Danny Barrera.
So now you got a UConn guy on the pitch, you got a Hartford guy on the pitch. Says a lot right now about the state of men's soccer at the NCAA level.
Free kick for Charleston. Yeah, Lapper actually transferred to UConn after winning a Division II national championship at the University of Charleston the year before. So he has some ties to both the cities involved in this game tonight.
Know that we have some fans that are watching in the lower areas of South Carolina. Hope that you're safe and secure and that you didn't really have to deal with the brunt of Hurricane Ian.
Absolutely. Budati and then Prince Sadie. Budati. Ramos has really liked what he's seen from Yunus Budati so far, the Belgian. Tulu. Jimmy Slayton. And a Charleston throw. Westfield Bank is proud to support Hartford Athletic and all they do to make our communities better. Need more convenience from your bank? At Westfield Bank, you can bank your way. Learn more at westfieldbank.com. Their Hartford free kick, much to the annoyance of Aiden Apodaca. And staying down for Hartford. Let's see that again. Yeah, that was Budati who he took down.
Apodaca just coming up from behind, and Budati looks like it's a wrist injury, and it looked like he has one previously, so it may be a situation where an injury has been re-aggravated.
There's Connor Casey discussing it with the fourth official. Casey talked this week with us about how the club has done so much work on and off the pitch over the last year. They've moved into a new era. As Casey replaced Michael Anhauser, who had been in charge since 2004.
You talk about, you know, Casey talking about Charleston and the changes they made. Just recently added Lee Cohen as their president. Cohen, who had been with the Tampa Bay Rowdies going all the way back to their NASL days. Very, very strong, very gifted, talented executive in this game. Changing teams right now, going to Charleston, giving Charleston a lot of new ideas. Marketing has changed in Charleston. You got a coaching change. So very bright future for Charleston. Right now they're just trying to close out the season, looking for as many points as they can. Remember, the goal in this match was to win the season series with Hartford. Going down 3-0, showing great resolve and coming back, now putting 2 on. But how, and this is a credit to Connor Casey, his coaching staff, and his squad. You go 11, you give up 11 goals. You lose 3-0, then 5-0, then you go into the half 3-0. Some teams would just retreat like a turtle. These guys came out, they were attacking, they got that first goal, they got the second goal, plenty of time left to add a third. I think they just need to show more looks, keep Hartford on their back heel a little bit, not knowing where the attack is going to come from, and see if they can just be opportunistic when the opportunities arise.
They might have fashioned an opportunity there, but that was great footwork from Modou Jadama, and he joins the attack now as he's threaded it out wide. Andre Lewis and Joel Johnson trying to return it to Lewis, and it runs out for a corner. And a Bank of America corner coming for Hartford.
And now Hartford showing a little bit of a different look themselves, going up the left side, as Charleston is going to make a double substitution.
Barajas and Flanagan getting ready to come on for them. And they won't make that substitution before the corner, it looks like. And a lot of teams don't like to substitute right before they defend a corner. Now apparently the corner is wiped away. There was an offside flag that wasn't spotted initially, so now that double change will come. And those substitutions again presented by 4G Recycling. See if they indeed make those changes right now. Looks like they are. And we see Flanagan and Barajas checking in. Avion Flanagan replacing Charlie Asensio. Fidel Barajas on for Romario Piggott. Fidel Barajas from Sacramento. He came up through the San Jose Earthquakes Academy. Avion Flanagan, a transfer from FC Cincinnati 2 in August. He played 18 matches in MLS Next Pro this year. Chance for them to show what they can do over these final 20 minutes tonight. Again, these are all important auditions for next year. Charleston will have a throw.
Great defending right there, just to knock the ball past the touchline, slow Charleston down. But I like the fact that Charleston is now attacking on the left as well as the right.
The cross in was from Fidel Barajas, who was straight into the action. Kwakwa looking for Augie Williams, who tried to take it down with the chest. Kwakwa positioning himself. Flanagan battling it along the touchline, but commits the foul, and the Charleston bench is incensed by that.
Obregon, they wanted the whistle on Obregon. They wanted a card to Obregon. And that's exactly the conversation that Casey's having right now.
See the foul again. Apparently just a little bit too much wrestling from Flanagan in the opinion of the referee. The Charleston bench obviously disagreeing. Well, tonight is the 4th annual Match for a Cause presented by Stanley Black & Decker. This year's charity of choice is the Grace Academy of Hartford. To bid on tonight's autographed game-worn jerseys and learn more about the Grace Academy, scan that QR code on your screen. Ooh, a slack back pass, and that left Jimmy Slayton with something to do, and he had to boot it out into touch. Williams trying to lift it into the box. And that will be a Hartford throw. Ball still a bit frantic and chaotic. Hartford hanging on to that 2-goal lead at the moment. Led by 3 at the break. Looked like they might run away with this. They had a great one-on-one opportunity for 4-0 inside the opening minute of the second half. That was saved by Daniel Kuzemka. And then Charleston scored in the 50th and 53rd, and suddenly it was 3-2, but Hartford hit back a few minutes later, and they are looking for more now.
Now coming up that left side a little bit more frequently than they did in the opening half.
Joel Johnson. Dama. Andre Lewis. Yunus Budati playing through that apparent wrist injury that he suffered a few minutes ago. Now the other way, Andrew Booth, who scored their first. And Aiden Apodaca, who scored their second. Wide it goes to Avion Flanagan.
Love that switch to Flanagan.
To the turf for Hartford, that frustrates the Charleston bench. That's Obregon. That's such a sensational first half with a goal and an assist.
And he looks like he's going to stay down. Casey frustrated because he thinks that he's just wasting time.
See Obregon raise the hand and collapse to the turf. Well, a quarter of an hour remaining. We'll remind you that Hartford Athletic would like to thank Connecticut's own Right Bar Juice, the official cocktail mixer of Hartford Athletic. So 15 minutes left. It is an opportunity for both teams to reset themselves for this final push here, Bruce, and see this great crowd here in Hartford tonight.
Well, Tab looks like he's going to have to make the change and take out number 9. He's made one substitution already on the evening. Obregon, I'd be really surprised that they're going to give him any more time. You got a little less than a game and a quarter left. No reason to risk injury this late in the season without an opportunity to go to the playoffs. You saw Ariel Martinez just go over and check on him. That's the type of leadership that you've seen out of Martinez since he came to the United States. He's just that kind of an individual. It's not even so much his football skill as much as he's just a good human being that is really concerned about his teammates, likes to know what his teammates are up to, likes to get to know his teammates.
JCL Cedeno is on for Juan Carlos Obregon. Another 4G recycling substitution. Free kick for Charleston. Right after that sub was made. An attacking free kick here for Charleston. Another goal for them here, and suddenly it would get very interesting, much more interesting than Hartford would prefer over this stretch run tonight.
Charleston with some choices on how they want to handle this delivery.
Toward that penalty spot, headed away. Charleston trying to reset. Down by that end line, that's tackled out really well. It's Robert Lappert, who just came on a few minutes ago. Stuck to DZ Harmon very well. Skidding that throw, flicking it along was Barajas. Interesting idea. Now a possible counter for Hartford. Utilize their speed, just flicked out for a throw. That was Leland Archer, who had to get something on that ball once he committed to the challenge.
Very well defended, and For Charleston, the good news is they've spent so much time in Hartford's end. Defenders very well rested at this point.
Augie Williams onto this. Looking for a free kick. He gets one by that touchline. Lappert guilty of the foul that time. Augustine Williams with 14 goals on the year hasn't been able to get involved, I think, as much in the second half as he would have liked. He's played a lot lately. Again, just got back from international duty. Connor Casey wasn't sure this week how many minutes they could get out of him tonight. Apparently the answer is 45. Free kick swung in and flicked away. That's going to be a Charleston throw by the corner flag.
Charleston just doing a great job right now in the second half of controlling the pace of play, staying on top of the ball, giving their defenders an opportunity to really catch their breath.
Barajas now. His cross crossed the face of goal and touched in, and now it's 4-3. And Charleston are within one with 11+ minutes to go. Jimmy Slayton won't give the ball back. Augustine Williams doesn't care. He has his goal, his 15th of the year. And here we go.
Yeah, great ball into the middle. And credit Williams just to stay upright, make sure that the ball would land at his feet. That ball getting through, not even sure exactly how it got through 3 defenders. But getting that 3rd goal in this half and keeping them close.
How well done was that by Fidel Barajas to get to the end line and get that telling cross in for Williams to touch home.
And where did that pass come from, Donnie? The left. So, Donnie, with 10 minutes remaining, this is going to be really, really interesting because Charleston has played phenomenally well in the second half. They've really done a great job of mixing things up, now bringing the attack up the left-hand side, which they almost were exclusive in the right. They're creating scoring chances, and this new look offense by Charleston coming up left, right, center is really providing fits for the defense from Hartford because they're having to defend in a way they didn't have to defend in the first half. One of the reasons why we've seen 3 goals. Hartford still holding on to this lead. I would not be surprised if this match ends at 4-4.
That would be quite a result for Charleston, considering how the first half went, especially how the first half ended. Remember, Hartford scored with the last kick of the first half to make it 3-0 going into the break. Thank you to all our Business Alliance members. Tonight's Business Alliance partner of the match is The Fix. As that goal kick apparently is going to have to be taken over again by Jimmy Slayton, who's not sure why. Hartford Athletic would also like to thank Nuovo Pasta, Connecticut, and Citizens Bank for supporting our Goals for Meals program. That Goals for Meals program, for every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuovo Pasta and Citizens Bank will donate meals to Food Share Connecticut. Already plenty of meals donated tonight. Still might not quite be enough for Hartford. We'll see. They're hanging on now. They're always plenty dangerous on the counter, as we've seen. They haven't had as many opportunities to do that in this second half. But here's Budati now.
That was a dangerous play. That back heel blind is the reason why Hartford was trying to put their foot on the gas, and you see Martinez trying to race in the direction of another goal. He opened up the scoring in the 10th minute. He would love to have a brace.
Martinez missed there by Tom Brewitt. Can Charleston find one more? In play by Budati. Effortlessly gliding between 2 black shirts. Volleyed forward onside here. Here come Hartford. Inside the box. Left-footed strike. Straight at the keeper, who was able to palm it away enough. JCL Cedeno with his first involvement in the match. And Daniel Kuzemka did enough. Kind of got his hands crossed up there, but it worked. Now Augie Williams is loose at the other end. Williams laying it off. Booth. And just tackled away from him. And then the foul relieves the pressure for Hartford. That was Robert Lappert who got something on that before Booth could gallop through on goal.
Take a look at this right here. Ground. That shot, it's punched away. And there were two Hartford players waiting on the rebound. Just the punch away was cleared before anybody could put a foot on it. And Sadie was there. Martinez was there. I've been preaching for years that rebound should be a statistic in football. And players, the numbers are really going forward for Charleston. They're only leaving two backs. So unless Hartford can get a fast break going the other way, the numbers are really ahead for Charleston as they look for the equalizer.
They look for it now. Squared to Apodaca. Apodaca has one goal tonight. Now Harmon. Tackled away from Williams. It was well done again by Robin Lappert, and now the break is on for Hartford. For once, slowing things down, which we've not seen very many times tonight. That's a bad giveaway. Straight to Augustine Williams. Williams goes for goal, and it's smothered by Slayton to keep Hartford in front for now.
Unfortunately for Charleston, Williams has to take the rep from downtown Hartford because no one else was traveling with him. And he nearly pulls it off.
Cedeno miskicked that. Was able to recover and keep possession. Down the right side, this is Budati. Budati is onside. Budati bursting through. Budati goes down. And the referee points to the spot. It's a penalty. Patterson penalized. And an opportunity for Hartford to regain a two-goal lead late.
Baseline into the box. The body check. I'm not sure if that's card worthy or even if it's at the spot worthy.
Archer has been shown a yellow card. I think Archer's card would be for dissent. Patterson, the player who committed the foul. Maybe Patterson's going to be booked too. Well, who takes the penalty for Hartford? Great chance for them to make these final few minutes a bit more comfortable.
Anybody want to brace?
Andre Lewis already has two, and it looks like he's going to take it. He's on a hat trick. And what a chance to score a hat trick.
What a story this would be here at home. And he's going to take a big time run up.
Andre Lewis, hat trick hero.
Back of the net.
5-3 Hartford with just a few minutes left. And even in a game as crazy as this one, that might just be it.
87th minute. Ramos was telling us he really wanted more production out of Lewis as well as Barrera. And a hat trick out of Lewis, that's production. And that's the back of the net. And that's a 5-3 lead very, very late in this one.
They are dancing and celebrating in the stands. They should be. What a night. What a game.
How much do you think they can get for a Lewis game-worn jersey in which he gets a hat trick?
That, I would think, should raise some money for Grace Academy.
I'm hoping there's at least 4 figures on that auction.
Free kick for Hartford as we remind you that Hartford Athletic is proud to team up with Stop and Shop in all of our community efforts as we work together year-round in the fight against food insecurity. Well, that's a great ball over the top. Martinez trying to chest it down and turn with it. It's really neatly played by JCL Cedeno. Well, that pressure that had been mounting on Hartford seems to have been relieved now, and they're looking for 6. They're having fun. It's Lewis again, squaring to Martinez, who fluffed his lines.
That was the first ever hat trick for Hartford in the history of the club, and Martinez frustrated that he didn't have a brace. And that smile, that Ariel Martinez smile, is telling you he knows he had it.
Well, into the final minute of the 90. It's been an incredible attacking performance by Hartford tonight. Defensively, there will be a few things for Tab Ramos and company to sort out, but if you want to primarily entertain the fans, this is how to do it. Here goes Lewis again. Acres of space for Hartford. It's Lewis, it's Martinez, and Martinez makes it a half a dozen.
That's a brace. Ariel Martinez.
Maybe a bit shaken up afterward, but he is shaking Charleston tonight. 6-3 in the 90th minute.
He scored at 10. He gets his brace at 90. The number 9 has become an outstanding number 10. Well, switch that. The number 10 has become an outstanding number 9.
And number 6 with his second of the night. What a night.
A hat trick, a brace. Prince Sadie's night is over, as well as Martinez's night. And we are a minute into stoppage already.
Indeed, our Brignoles Vineyard stoppage time is 4 minutes tonight. So our 4G recycling substitutions. Mitchell Curry on for Prince Sadie. Luca Perpa has also come on for Ariel Martinez. That's offside.
I knew we were going to have some goals tonight because both of these teams got shut out their last time out. Credit to Charleston. They're down 3-0 at the break. They've given up 11 straight goals. They come back. They get 3 in this match. That's impressive. Hartford just played through, getting beat a little bit, put their foot on the gas when they needed to, getting these 2 very, very late goals. A hat trick, first ever for this club out of Lewis. Martinez getting 2 just incredibly impressive. What is it, 8 in his last 8 games?
It's a lot, and there might be a chance for a 4th here for Charleston. It stings the palms of Slayton, who keeps it out. That was Avion Flanagan having a rip with his left foot.
Wasn't the statistic coming into this one, 6 of the last 8 games Martinez had a goal, so that would be 8 goals in 9 games.
He had 5 and 7, so it's now 7 and 8. Yeah, it's a lot. He's on an incredible run at 35 years old. Tab Ramos paid tribute to him this week. He's not considering his age. He's producing. Charleston continuing to go forward. Enoch Kwakwa that time had a shot blocked. 90 seconds to go.
Always enjoyed my time with Ariel Martinez. Very interesting conversations we had, him in Spanish, me in English, and yet both of us understood exactly the conversation we were having. Just a great guy to be around, true leader, happy, almost always happy. And that was the things that really struck me in my time with Ariel. If you saw him coming off the training pitch, he was happy. Coming off a game match, he was always happy. Just loves the game of football, loves being in the United States.
Cross is going to go out for a goal kick, and Hartford almost home. And Martinez, yeah, happy guy. He and his teammates will be happy with the result tonight. Wasn't always flawless, but anytime you score half a dozen and come up with 3 points at home, it's a good evening.
But on the other side, Charleston has given up 14 goals in 3 games.
Yeah, not a good run for them. 2 games left this season after tonight. Still time to generate some positive momentum going into the offseason, and lots of positive things happening on and off the pitch for Charleston over the course of this year. As we talked about it about a half an hour ago, they're entering a brand new era. And lots of rebuilding occurring there, as that cross stabbed just wide, and it will be a goal kick, and that should just about do it tonight.
Yeah, we're in borrowed time right now.
Alex Billiter, our center referee, as we've had the 4 minutes of Brignall Vineyard stoppage time.
I would think that Slayton will kick this one away, and while it's in the air, we'll hear the 3 whistles.
The Ramos revolution resumes. That's 3 wins out of 4 under Tab Ramos as Hartford Athletic defeat Charleston tonight incredibly by 6 goals to 3. Tremendous night from a neutral perspective. Tremendous night for this big crowd at Trinity. And Hartford, wearing those special green kits, enjoyed a special night, especially in the attack. 2 goals for Ariel Martinez, 2 goals for Lewis. Obregon chipping in half a dozen for Hartford. We'll show you highlights and more when we come back after this 6-3 win for the home side tonight. What an incredible game in Hartford tonight. 6-3 Hartford Athletic outlasting Charleston Battery. It was comfortable, then it wasn't, then it was again for Hartford this evening. Donnie Barnes and Bruce Silverman certainly enjoyed it. Hope you did too. Let's look at the highlights. Our full-time highlights this evening. As in the 10th minute, Hartford opened the scoring, and it was a terrific dinked ball over the top. Juan Carlos Obregon serving it to Martinez, and Ariel Martinez stabbed it home.
Yeah, great job by Martinez to just head it to himself, put it in the back of the net. Just a few minutes later,
Indeed, a few minutes after that, Danny Barrera threading in that ball on the right side and squared across by Sadie, touched home the first of the night for Andre Lewis and Hartford second. Then right before halftime, a gut punch goal for Charleston to concede. Served in by Joel Johnston, squared and touched home again by Lewis.
And you got to wonder if they didn't give up that goal and it was only 2-0 going into the break, the complexion of this game would have been very, very different.
Andrew Booth with a laser beam early in the second half to make it 3-1 and give Charleston some life. And just a few minutes after that, it was 3-2. Good ball over the top. Apodaca took it down. Second touch was in the back of the net.
Yeah, credit him for just staying on the ball and just extending that right foot, finding the...
And they got it back to 4-3 inside the final 10 minutes. Barajas here with great work along the end line and stabbed in for the 15th of the year as Augustine Williams made it a one-goal game. But Eunice Budati in the 86th going down under the challenge of A.J. Patterson, referee pointing to the penalty spot.
And this is why we have a hat trick for Lewis in the first ever for this Hartford squad.
That was 5-3, and then in stoppage time, Hartford putting a ribbon on this game, and it was Lewis rampaging forward again, this time turning provider, and Ariel Martinez had his brace, and it was 6 for Hartford, and 3 points salted away for them tonight. Our full-time match stats are pretty crazy, as you'd expect. 12 shots for Hartford, 6 of them wind up in the net. That is quite efficient. Charleston, 19 shots, 8 on target. That's not bad. Usually you score 3 goals, especially away from home. You would think that would be enough.
But 50% on shots when you've only had the ball 41% of the time, that's efficient. 9 goals on the evening. The fans have some fun. But the only stat that ever matters is the one up top, and that's 6-3 Hartford over Charleston.
Well, don't miss Hartford Athletics' final home match of the season right here at Trinity Health Stadium on October 7th at 7 p.m. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information. If it's anything like this one, you certainly won't want to miss it. Hope to talk to you then. Until next time, for Bruce Silverman, I'm Donnie Barnes. Good night from Trinity Health Stadium in Hartford, Connecticut, where it finished tonight incredibly. Hartford Athletics 6, Charleston Battery 3.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
The body check. when they do switch and they get Booth involved, who needs to get involved.
Play on, advantage play.